I've got a final question to ask,
Uh-huh.
which I believe most of us will benefit from your answer as well. What advice would you give to your younger self at the start of your career?
Yeah, that's always a good one. I started in academia more than 30 years ago now. And I think on a general level, there are two key things that I wish I would have realized earlier in my career. And the first one is that resilience and persistence are far more important for an academic career than sheer ability and intelligence. Of course, it helps. You need it. You need a certain level of ability and intelligence, but persistence and resilience are really important. Rejections, whether they're for academic journal articles, funding applications, promotion applications, are perfectly normal. And in most cases, in most disciplines, they're the norm rather than the exception. I could paper my walls with all the rejections that I've received, and I would need more than one room. So we really need to be able to pick ourselves up after disappointments, and that's really crucial. Early on in my career, as many junior academics, I thought I was the only one who was getting rejected, and I didn't realize that everyone was, even senior academics. The other thing that I think is important to realize is that an academic career is very much a marathon. It's not a sprint. Many academic careers span 5 decades, some even 6. So it means that you can have multiple careers within the same career. So you don't need to do everything in the first 5 to 10 years of your academic career. And if you run too fast and don't pace yourself, you might burn out early in your academic career. So that's the kind of really, really general lessons that I think are important. Specific lessons, I could mention dozens of them, but I'm not so sure that careers or lives in general would be more fulfilling if you knew everything that was ahead of you. I suspect that for a lot of projects I've done, whether it's research or leadership, I wouldn't even have started if someone had told me in advance how difficult it would be. It would have been far too overwhelming. So I think most of the time, it's just better to not know and just deal with one thing at a time. And then you'll surprise yourself at what you'll be able to do. I'm sure you had no idea what it was like editing a magazine. Like every day is a learning curve. You just deal with one challenge at a time. So I think that's really important. And then if I might say one final thing before we close the interview, I think too many older academics, they reason with hindsight. A lot of older academics, if you ask them, would you start an academic career if you had to start again? And they all say no. And I understand these sentiments. I mean, I've seen a lot of things in academia that I'm not happy with. But in my view, it's not terribly helpful to say that to younger academics who are full of passion and really want to start an academic career. I fully agree that a lot of things might be more difficult in academia these days than they were 30 years ago when I started. But that's true for society in general. That's true for working in business as well. And if people do a PhD and then decide to work in industry, that might be a great choice for many academics, but that needs to be a positive choice. It shouldn't be a negative one, like I don't want to work in academia, so I'll just take a job in industry. It should be a positive one.